Hi, welcome to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and David's not here. So David did a COVID test. He's still testing positive. He's feeling better, but he's still testing positive. So he still has to record his 2 videos for Tarot by the Bay. We just got done with our live stream about an hour ago. And I realized we really didn't have any content for the Twin Tarot channel because the live stream was supposed to end up on the Twin Tarot channel, but through limitations that we have, it's being posted on Tarot by the Bay. So he's got all the content, and the Twin Tarot channel has nothing. So I thought I'd do a quick throw here. And if I actually don't stumble all over myself, I'll actually post it so you have something to look at tomorrow. So I thought I would do a reading tonight on President Biden. You know, we were all very disappointed when he pulled out of the race. Very upset with the Hollywood elites and the Democrat elites and the, feeling like the common everyday man, the small donor, their wishes and their desires were being ignored and basically overturned by the wealthy donors. And I can't honestly say that that's not what happened. But we're going to ask some questions about it. So someone had asked, did Pelosi and Adam Schiff pressure for Biden to step aside because they didn't feel he would win? Or was it for the upper 1% of the donors? So we'll do a little throw on that, and then I want to do another question on Biden. So let me write my question down so I don't forget it, because I'm not getting younger, and even though I'm not in my 80s, I do have my senior moments like we all do. So for entertainment purposes only. The first question I want to ask is, would Biden have won the election if he stayed in? How about that? So let's see what Spirit has to say about that. Would Biden have won the election if he stayed in? For entertainment purposes only. So let's see what we got here. So would Biden have stayed, would he have won the election if he stayed in? Foundation of the reading is the Death card. Oh dear, that's... Okay. Boy, that's not the card you want to start a reading with, right? The foundation of the reading is the Death card. So the Death is the end of an era. The king is dead, long live the king. It also signifies a new beginning. Let's face it, this is not a card that you would be really positive about if you were hoping Biden would have stayed in. It's crossed with the 5 of Swords. Okay, so what are we talking? And underneath it all is the King of Pentacles. Okay, so in this case, it can mean one of 2 things, right? I mean, tarot is wonderful that way. It's all open to interpretation. So the Death card is the foundation. Would Biden have won? You could take the easy approach and say, look at Death card saying, yeah, no, you know what? No, he would not have won this election. Trump was out there fighting away, and it was basically Trump was raising too much money to be defeated. Now, the other way you could read it is that this Biden, the foundation would have been the death of MAGA, and that even though Trump and MAGA keep fighting, Biden had outraised and had better health than Trump did. And let's keep going. Let's see which way these cards are going on that. So it could be either way. Let's see. In the past, you got the 2 of Wands. You're basically, you've got choices. You've got decisions. Decisions need to be made. Do I stay in? Do I step out? I got to look at the future. The current energy was the five of Wands. Of course it was, right? Absolute chaos with the the news agencies and all the infighting with the elites and the Hollywood elites telling Biden to step aside. Trump and them just living and enjoying watching Biden struggle through that. The overarching energy was the Sun card. At the end of the day, Biden and Harris, they're pro-democracy. They're people look up to him. They look at Biden and they see all the positive attributes that man had. And everything that he was bringing. We were out of the darkness. We were in the light. We avoided a recession. The economy is good. Jobs are good. Everything is looking bright and shiny for the United States. The lesson to be learned is the wheel of fortune. Anything can happen. All this stuff, it can turn on a dime. You have a bad debate performance, and all of a sudden it doesn't matter how well you've been doing. Everyone's like predicting your demise, your political demise, just because of one silly debate performance where you were under the weather and tired. The outcome, and this is the money card. Ace of Swords, Sword of Justice. Okay, so when I started this reading, like I said, you could go a couple different directions. What I'm thinking here is, if Biden would have ran, it would have been the death of MAGA. It would have been the end of King Trump. Trump and MAGA. Trump was going to keep fighting, even though basically all his supporters are walking away, saying, "You know what? You lost again," and you keep thinking that you're going to keep fighting, but at the end of the day, you should just be walking away. And that all the chaos that ensued, you weren't able to take advantage of it because Biden had too much going for him, and it was up in the air in the polls. But at the end of the day, the sword of justice came out, and your felony convictions and Biden's reputation basically outshone you. And it didn't matter at the end of the day how much money was being raised by both sides on this chaos. Biden would have won. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. The fun part, or the tough part with tarot is, oh boy, it's the interpretation. It could go either way. And one of the things that I really have learned from David is when the story becomes easy and you stop struggling trying to figure out what it is the cards are telling you, you're probably closer to what your intuition is trying to tell you. So in this case, I think Biden probably would have won. It would have been the end of MAGA. That's not to say that Harris wouldn't have the same outcome, but I wasn't reading on Harris. I was reading on Biden. In my the next question I'm going to ask, of course, is going to be, so Pelosi and Schiff were instrumental in trying to get Biden to step down. There was a lot of other people in the background. Obama was saying, well, I think he should consider it, but it's his choice. I mean, that's not exactly a rigging endorsement, is it? Especially for the man that you VP'd for 8 years. But I was disappointed that Obama wasn't a little more supportive of Biden. But maybe people just knew stuff we didn't. But at the end of the day, Harris stands a really good chance. There's a lot of energy around Kamala Harris's campaign, and the younger kids are really excited about having her. So with Pelosi and Schiff, they didn't feel. Did they feel that Biden wouldn't have won, or was it for the upper 1% of the donors? So I'm gonna be very specific. Maybe I'll just do a four cards. One, was it to placate the big money donors, or was it because they felt that he wasn't going to win? So let's do a 4 card. Did Pelosi and Schiff try and get Biden to step aside because they didn't feel he'd win? They believed the polls that they were seeing. Okay, for entertainment purposes only. You got the Justice card. as the foundation, as your signifier. So, see, they got the Justice card. So, did they feel that he wouldn't have won? So you got the Justice card, supported by the Four of Pentacles. Now, this Four of Pentacles to me is like it's conserving your health. And so what I think they were looking at was they were looking at Biden, and they were making some judgments based on his health. That their concern was mostly on his debate performance and the optics around his health. Let's see, let's get some clarifiers. You got the Seven of Pentacles and the World card. So they're looking at Biden's health. You know, they're seeing bits of his health, you know, falling off of the tree and landing on the ground to rot. And they're worried about what this world is going to look like if they lose this election because of his failing health. And underlying it is the Knight of Swords, which is like that's my Sir Lancelot in the Holy Grail. They needed to get some messaging out there, and they needed to do it fast because they were running out of time. You know, the primaries coming up. If they're going to swap him out, they needed to do it quickly, and they needed fast decisions. So, you know, they can contemplate all they want, but at the end of the day, they knew that the democracy was at great peril if they couldn't get Biden to step aside because of his health issues. Okay, so it looks like they were certainly concerned about his health issues. Let's see, did it have anything to do with the 1% of donors out there that were the big money donors that were watching these health, these interviews and all the news coverage of Biden's health? You know, was that impacting those big donors? And that's why Pelosi and Schiff were trying to get Biden to step aside, because they were afraid they were going to lose all that money. Because remember, we did see that King of Pentacles as the underlying card on whether Biden would have won. So, okay, so we'll do another four-carder. Did Pelosi and Schiff feel that Biden, they wanted to replace Biden because of the 1% donors? They wanted the big money donors. The foundation is the Nine of Cups, hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. Certainly the big donors that have all the monies, you know, they want their hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. The walking away, the emotional walking away. So maybe they felt that because of all these health issues, some of these big donors emotionally were stepping back and saying, yeah, you know what? I don't think I can support this guy. Okay, Two of Wands. Once again, looking at decisions being made, looking down the road, saying, oh my gosh, you know, what are we going to do? Do we not pressure him and keep the small donations? Do we pressure him and go for the large donations? And the Queen of Swords is just being matter of fact about things. You know, this is what you did, and this is, you know, this is the consequence of it. So did they do it for the 1%, the 1%ers, and then defending? Okay, so what was this saying? You know, the Democrats had their hopes and wishes and dreams for this election. They felt that this election was getting away from them. They had to make a choice, and they had to be very honest about it. And they had to defend against all these attacks on Biden. So was it going after the 1% donors? It's hard to say. It doesn't seem clear. I didn't draw any pentacle cards at all on this, which would indicate that it's for the 1% donors. I honestly don't think it was the donors per se. It had to do with Biden's health, the perception of his health, and how that was scaring away the 1% donors. I think that's what I'm reading here. So, Yeah, was it for the 1% donors? Yeah, indirectly. It was, but it was more. They saw the polls that were not going well. They were concerned about Biden's health having a negative impact on voter turnout and voter enthusiasm, and they decided that if we were going to get this election won and get the monies we needed to make sure we got this thing to the finish line and be victorious, we need to pressure the man to step aside. So it's kind of a qualified yes. It wasn't, their main concern was his health issues and the perception of it, and the money just followed along with that decision. Okay, and I'm going to do one more reading, just for fun, because I think I've seen it in the comments and the chats, but I want to know, Biden's now, he knows where the finish line is, right? He's going until January as president, as the 46th president of the United States. He has made his deals to make sure that Kamala was given the inside lane as far as the Democratic nomination. He's probably got a couple other plans out there that he had agreements to and that he's currently working on. But my question is this: is Dark Brandon going to make a big appearance over the next, from now until the end of Biden's term? Is he going to go Dark Brandon finally and really have some fun stuff? The Supreme Court's given him all sorts of immunity and from criminal charges, so he can go push the envelope like crazy because he's Dark Brandon. So let's see, is Dark Brandon going to make an appearance and play make a big impact over the last few months of Biden's presidency? Is Dark Brandon going to be around? Okay, the foundation of the reading is the Five of Wands, chaos. Well, certainly when the Supreme Court said presidents are kings, it's created all sorts of chaos in the judicial system. It's probably also created all sorts of chaos in the Biden camp because, at this point, there's probably a whole bunch of people telling him, hey, unleash Dark Brandon. You can totally do this. There's nothing that prevents you from unleashing Dark Brandon at this point. Cross with the star. Hey, you've done a great job. Everyone loves you. This is your chance to really make an impact and make a splash on the political scene. Underneath it, the King of Pentacles, again, it's all about money and, Pentacles are about health, wealth, and things of value. So I think in this case, it's things of value. If you go Dark Brandon, there's a whole bunch of good things that you can get done that will help, people that are underrepresented, people that have been ignored, people that the Republicans have been just trying their level best to other and attack and punch down on. In the past, there's a good pentacle. 10 of Pentacles. It's, Biden's kind of looking back at his legacy. 50 years or so that he's been in the government, and all the wonderful things he's brought, all the things of value he's brought to the government over his career as a public servant. Current energy. 10 of Cups, oh God, they're just wonderful cards. 10 of Cups, it's just, all of your hopes and dreams have been fulfilled. Everything is coming up roses now. You got a happy marriage, the kids are doing good, although you could probably argue that, I guess he could pardon Hunter, and Hunter would be dancing around. But it's just, he's emotionally in a great place right now. He's kind of lifted that burden off himself, and he's freed himself. The overarching energy, the Seven of Cups, illusions and delusions. This probably goes back to the Supreme Court ruling about presidents or kings. He's under no illusion. There's a bunch of illusions that he can go ahead and do anything he wants, and he can get away with it. And that's not quite the case because, yeah, he can certainly give orders, but people have to like obey those orders, carry them out. That's what's really scary about Project 2025, because Project 2025 gets rid of the illusions and delusions and puts the infrastructure in place so you can be a king. But the overarching energy is he sees kind of the illusion of power that the Supreme Court decision has given him. The lesson to be learned, the Five of Pentacles, leaving people out in the cold. It could leave his reputation out in the cold if he takes too much advantage of this. You can get back inside, but right now you're out in the snow. So here's the money card. What's the payoff? What's the outcome of this? Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles, it's basically you got the scales of justice. You're kind of, I'm not going to say paying back, but you're kind of making things balanced again. You're giving back, not paying back. Giving back is what's going on here. He's got the scales of justice. He's giving back to those who have less, and there's a lot of things of value still that he can provide. And the Five of Pentacles is, I think what this is how he has wanted to do a whole bunch of good things, maybe not as Dark Brandon, but as President Biden. As president, he's wanted to do a lot of good things, but he's been shut out and left out in the cold by, the Republicans in the House of Representatives. But now he's got his chance to give back, kind of balance things, and provide things of value. So I think, based on this, we're going to see a little bit, not a lot of it, but we're going to see a little bit of Dark Brandon coming up. Biden is going to use these last 4 or 5 months of his presidential term to really make an impact. He's not going to put his feet up on the handlebars and coast. He's going to pedal, and he's going to pedal hard, and he's going to make sure his legacy and his memory is that we're going to look back and think he was one hell of a good president. He'll be every bit the president that Trump thinks he was, right? Only it'll be the general population that thinks that Biden was an outstanding president instead of, Trump thinking that Trump was a great president. You know what I'm saying? He'll have the mandate from the masses, not some farcical aquatic ceremony where strange women lying in ponds lob swords at you. So that's what I'm saying. I think Biden would have won the election, and it would have been the end of MAGA. I think that Pelosi and Schiff and the other elites, if you will, were more concerned about Biden's health and the optics around that. And as a result of that, they were worried that the money wasn't going to show up. And there was definitely some major donors that were holding back. So it makes sense. If we get Biden to step aside and we bring in Kamala Harris, the money's going to come in. And boy, did it ever come in, right? And then I think Biden's going to, for the last 5 months of his term, there's going to be a little bit of Dark Brandon coming out, and Biden is going to pedal like crazy and make sure he gets as much stuff done to help people that he can while he still has time in office. So that's what I got for you. I hope you all are having a great day. Thanks for watching. I think Dave and I are just going to have to do one more week of streaming tarot cards as opposed to us sitting side by side here in the kitchen or in Dave's study. But he's getting better. Shelly is on the mend as well. So we got one more week of this, and then we'll be back to more of our side by side snarkiness. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I go through all of them, and I try and respond to as many as I can. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.